So welcome to a new video. It's currently Monday, so a new trading week, and we've got some interesting price action to start the week with this weekly open dump. So yeah, I made a video update last Saturday, I believe, where I explained. Yeah, I'm not gonna explain everything again because I start to sound like a broken record, but we are in this range with range low, range high, and then early last week we had that move above the range with this push where basically price pushed above, came back for the range high retest into this demand, pushed into new highs around 98k, and since then price has been slowly going down and holding a very tight range during the weekend, which is what we lately often see, where the weekend is very slow, and then on the weekly open we get strong moves. This week we have a strong weekly open dump, and like last week, if we look at there also this was the weekend price action, very dead, and then we started the week with a pump, then dump, and then price continued higher. Right now we see that we broke back with aggressive candles into the range, which has also probably a bit to do with the escalation between European Union and America, the US, about Greenland, because also stocks have been selling off, gold and silver have been pumping into new highs. So yeah, definitely some news-driven movements in the markets. And today is also a US holiday, so yeah, markets are not officially open. So yeah, good way for market makers to manipulate price. But let's get to the important point, because in this weekend's update and last week I told that this zone right here could potentially be the PO3 we have to keep an eye on, because here we have the range low, range high. We have stacked lows, so a lot of liquidity, sell-side liquidity being generated. We got the move above the range, and usually when you have this long of a range, then if you get a breakout, you want to see buyers stepping in and buyers defending the range high, because yeah, if you have been consolidating for this long and then you get your breakout, then you can imagine that the buyers want to see sustainable strength and not falling back into your old range. And currently we are seeing that price is moving back in the range. So yeah, it's going to be very important what's going to happen the next 2 days, like today and tomorrow. Also because that's the weekly, like an 84% chance to form the weekly low or high on a Monday or Tuesday. So yeah, if by Monday or Tuesday we are still below, like especially 95k, then I'm heavily leaning towards this being the PO3, the deviation of the range high, and we will make our way to the mid-range and potentially range lows. If we manage to flip structure or break above 95k right here, then I think that we could also see this as the higher low to continue the upward structure. Where I can say this is if we start the structure pull from here, high low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So yeah, there's also a case to be made that this is the higher low for the continuation into, let's say, 100k, and if we flip that 98k, then we can make a push to 110, 112k. So currently there are two camps. Also I see on X where you have camp 1, which is the bearish PO3, in which this was our deviation. The retest is to short if it gives a retest, where you can look for shorts here or here, and then the next acceptance back in the range is your short trigger towards new lows, or at least the sales liquidity created right there. And camp 2 is the camp that is more looking from it like a market structure perspective, as I just explained, in which your structure main pool is this, and this is the higher low into some strong demand POA, also daily POC, which was located at 92k, which has been taken out right now. That this is the early week manipulation, and that this will be the weekly low, reclaim, boom, boom, and the uptrend continues to 93k. So what's gonna happen here is very interesting coming days. So I first wanted to quickly go back to the 2022 fractal, which I've been mentioning several times by now, because it looks pretty similar to me, where we had here the high, then here you had the local accumulation. This was the top with a range high deviation, kind of like a model 2. Currently we have the model 1, which created our current all-time high. Here we saw the sell-off, a pretty strong sell-off, after which price made a naked low, a high, started here a range, sells at liquidity, made a move back above the range high, didn't close above the deviation threshold right there, accepted back in the range, and then made a full-on range rotation back to the lows. If we look at here can you pull your volume profile, let's say here, and then if we zoom in a bit, let's say that we want to look at it from here. If we then go to like the 4 hour, you can see that price also here made a move above, came back towards the value area high. This could potentially be a replica of what we are seeing now. Ready reaction around the like this supply block will be very interesting, because here we can see that price came above, came back in the range, buyers stepped in, but didn't manage to confidently break above and created like a model 2 or like an M pattern right here. Price came back, accepted under the value area high, and then from there price never recovered back above the value area high and made a full-on range rotation back to the lows and much lower actually. So what's gonna happen in the current, if we go back to the current price action, in the coming day or two is going to be very important, because here we have also a naked low, there the high, here we had a sweep of the high, so this is step 1, this is step 2, this is potentially step 3, or like bearish PO3 idea. And then if we draw a range from low to current, then we can see that price is currently around the value area high, so pretty important level. Also, this was our last demand with a point of control. So if we're gonna bounce, then it should be from here. I can also see a case where we take out the low, which would make it even more bullish in my opinion. But then if you get above your value area high, then what happens first, PY is this zone. But if we get a replica of 2022, the zone between here and here is going to be important. Like flip above 97, the fractal is invalidated, and I'm pretty sure we go to 110k. But if we make a replica of the 2022 fractal, you can expect price to push maybe in here, but fail to gain it, similar as 2022. And then if you accept back in your range, form your M pattern right there, your model 2 or your model 1, whatever, just weakness, and then accept back in your range, then this is a massive short trigger. And especially full confirmation is a loss of that value area high, in which I expect a full-on rotation back to the lows. So yeah, as I said, there are multiple scenarios how to play this, either the higher low or the PO3. And yeah, in my opinion, both are valid ways to look, but in my opinion, it doesn't make too much sense to stick to one idea and say this is it. Like, what will be key is how price moves from here. You can see that price came directly into that demand zone, which was a key level. Currently, price is bouncing from it, and now it's going to be important. How is price going to react? Like, do we mitigate demand, push up, get demand? Then it's looking stronger. It would look even better if we make a new low, create like kind of a two-tap model. Then I would say, okay, this is giving good signs that this is potentially an accumulation, that this was the manipulation move to start the week, and that we then continue higher. But if we move up without creating any good demand and instead create a liquidity trail and then come into this supply and break structure back to bearish, yeah, then I'm definitely interested in shorts. So in my opinion, you can look for long triggers potentially around from here to here. Look how price reacts. Does it give any market structure to work with? Like that. Take a long, ride it up into here, potentially into here. If you get weakness here, like 3 drives, breaker structure, look for shorts, same here. Get market structure confirmations for shorts. And that way you can potentially position yourself both ways, where you can take longs right here, because the risk to reward for longs is pretty clean here, because if this is the higher low for a higher high, you don't want to go much lower as price currently did. So any structure confirmations right here or here could be long, good long opportunities. Also because we have the weekly, it's Monday, so it's very high chance we form our weekly low or our high today. Current high is a weak high, because it has no wick to the upside, both the daily and the weekly candle. So I'm pretty sure that sooner or later we will at least take out that unfinished candle, and then it's going to be important, how is price going to react in this fair value gap. Do we gain this level, then we can continue higher. But for now, I'm leaning a bit more towards the bearish idea. But as I said, I like to trade in lower time frames with confirmations. Currently, I'm not in a position on BTC yet, so I'm just gonna patiently wait, see if I get structure confirmations for long. Here I'm interested in longs, and here I'm interested in shorts, either here or here. Flip 97k, and I'm pretty sure we will go higher. So different ways to play it. It's going to be interesting how price reacts today and tomorrow. And a quick look at USDT, the dominance, where we have the potential risk of this being a 1-2 potential model 2 accumulation. So here it's going to also be important, how does price react inside this area, because last week we took out the range low into key demand, tapped that, then also on the 4 hour we can see that we broke structure back to bullish. So I'm leaning towards a model 2, also because we have some liquidity build up. So if this turns into a model 2, you want to look for a higher low formation anywhere in this region, get a structure break. That's your confirmation to travel to the range highs, which would align with the bearish idea on BTC, going back all the way back to the range lows. Invalidation would be that this weekly open push is a fake move, that main structure is still like this, and that this is just a lower high for lower low. But in order for that to confirm it, you want to see like price move down and not give that bullish structure confirmation. So also here it's going to be important today, tomorrow, how is price gonna react in these zones. Here we have locally some bullish breaks, price left behind some demand zones to keep an eye on. Also this was, let's see, like 1 hour supply, which is flipped with a strong move. So this is your flip zone. So locally this looks pretty strong. So that's something to look at. Main eyes are on BTC and USDT, and I think they will soon give an answer today, tomorrow. So very interesting price action to keep an eye on, and I'm curious to see how it plays out. But definitely a lot of potential trade ideas to play this. So happy trading everyone, and don't forget to leave a like. If you have any questions, also let me know, and then I will be back with another update tomorrow, and then we potentially already have an answer what it will be, either the continuation or the bearish PO3. So let's see. Thanks for watching, and happy clicking as always.